This is a Millwall Drive Home special, I suppose you could call it, question and answer session with TT for the Millwall Drive Home. Driving home from work, I asked for over 100 likes to see if you wanted the video. You smashed it and given me 125, so I'm assuming you do. Obviously you're watching it, so here we go. As I am driving, I cannot remember who asked me what. I can remember the questions, but I can't remember who asked me what. So I'll answer as many as I can possibly answer. And we'll take it from there. First question I can remember. My first ever Millwall memory was put in the comments. The thing, I'll go to the question in a minute, but obviously this is a forum. You know, people put in the comments. I like the fact that other people have put down the answers to the questions themselves. You know, it's a way of sharing experiences. Millwall all over the world. If you've never been to the Den, you've never been to Millwall, at some stage in your life, try and do it, because our club is something special. But so my first ever Millwall experience that I can remember, my dad took me when I was very young, and my first ever experience that I remember was when I was 5 years old. I think it was 5 or 6. I think I was 5. The top flight. Millwall versus QPR, some of you remember it. We went top of the league that day and we won 3-2. I can just remember the old Den. It's something that never goes away from you, really. I remember walking up the stairs. It's quite vivid in my mind. I can remember the smell. It's not a very pleasant smell, I've got to be honest. The smell of urine mixed with hot dogs at the back of the stand. And I just remember holding onto the fence, and the roar as our third goal went in. And it's silly because you're not a football fan for life at 5 years old, but that is probably one of the best times of any Millwall fan's life. And I'm a little bit gutted that I'm not completely old enough to remember the whole game and every single detail, because that's something I normally can do. So I can do the drive home with no notes, no nothing. I don't edit my videos. I wish I could remember more of that game, because we went the top of the league, top of the top flight that day. And obviously we haven't been back there since, but who knows? We could get back. So that's my first ever memory at the Den. And it's, like I said, it's really stuck in my mind. Second question was, if we could strengthen in the transfer window, who would you pick? Now, who would you pick is a difficult question, because yes, I see people's stats, but if I wanted to do things properly, like I would do, like our recruitment department does, you need to know whether someone can withstand playing for Millwall, and you ain't going to get that unless you go and see him play. And that sounds silly, but I've seen like Tom Eaves at Gillingham and Jayden Stockley at Exeter, I think he is. Goal scorers that are scoring lots of goals. I'd want to know whether, obviously they're doing it at a lower league, and that's where we probably need to be looking at, but can they take someone shouting at them? Can they take someone digging them out, their own fans digging them out? That is unknown unless you properly scout them, and I'm in no position to do that. But we need a goal scorer, that's one thing. I'd bring Marshall back. I'd do everything I can. Apparently it's between us and Ipswich that I've heard that are trying to get him. Listen, we need to blow Ipswich out of the water. I don't care what we do. Bringing him back would make a huge difference. I think we need to do it. We need to do everything we can to bring Marshall back. I think he was an integral part of the team. We know he can play for us, so it's a no-brainer to me. We done it with Wallace when he came back on loan from Wolves at the second period. You just know some players can put that shirt on and deal with it, and Marshall was one of them. So I'd bring him back. And personally, I don't think we're going to, as we've got 3 already, but I would bring an experienced goalkeeper in, someone that can really, you know, make a difference in between the goals. I think we've got players that have made mistakes. We've got players that played in goal that are susceptible from shots from distance. So the likelihood of it, again, I don't know the wages that are involved, but someone like Tom Heaton's third choice at Burnley, you know, someone like him, I think would make a huge difference to the team. And with those 3 positions, a striker with pace, a left midfielder, and a goalkeeper, I think would be more than all right. Saying that, I think would be more than all right anyway. But are we going to do it? Are we going to spend that amount of money? Who knows? I've read that people saying, oh, Harris doesn't want to spend money. Of course he does. What manager doesn't want to spend money? Harris wants to spend money. Is he given the money? That's another question. Does he want to blow it? No, there's no point in spending £2 million on a player that can't play for Millwall. Yes, I know he's bought Tom Bradshaw and didn't play him, but you know, I trust him to make the right decisions. He's still the man for the job for me. Anyway, moving on. Question number 3. Someone asked me why I live on the wrong side of the river. Well, that's an easy question. If anyone, a few of you have seen me in and about, and they've seen me with my wife, I moved for love. And if you've seen my wife, you'll know that I am punching massively above where I should be in a relationship. My wife is absolutely stunning. And she lived in Hackney, so I moved to live with her. And then we moved out to Essex as a natural thing from you know, if you live in New Cross as I did, I probably would have moved that to Kent. But I moved to East London, Hackney. I never felt comfortable there, I've got to be honest. For the love of my life. And yeah, I wouldn't change that for the world, so that's why I live in Essex. The next question, quite cheekily, someone put on Twitter, one of the dads of my football team, who do you love more? Millwall or Southwood and Veres United? Under 8 Lions. Well, it's a tough question because I love them both. The club I love more is Millwall, without a doubt. But the question I'd ask him back is, I've never missed a training session or a match because of Millwall. That's a fact. Because I have a responsibility to those boys, and I take it very seriously. Like, I do the stats, I do spreadsheets, I plan sessions months in advance to try and get the best out of them. And that's why I miss sometimes on a Saturday if they bring the fixture forward. You know, if we have a 12:30 kick-off in Sheffield, my training with my boys is between 10 and 11, it means I'm going to miss it. But I've got a responsibility to those boys. So even though the love of my life, other than my wife and my kids, is Millwall, I've got a responsibility to those boys, so that's why potentially I'll miss a few games. Tough question. A bit cheeky there, Gav. We'll do another question. Who do I think will get relegated this season? Well, I ain't putting us in it, that's for sure. I'm not negative enough to want us to, or put us, and I do think we've got enough to get out of it. So I'll say the teams that I think are weaker than us, the teams that I've seen that aren't much cop. Now, some of them are you don't know what's going to happen in January, you don't know what's going to happen over the rest of the season, but the teams that I've seen so far, Wigan are weaker than us. Ipswich are weaker than us. Reading are weaker than us. Those 3 especially. Rotherham beat us, but don't look much cop. So I think any 3 of those 4 will get relegated. I don't know if I've said Bolton, but Bolton have got another chance. They were all for at the Den, even though that they worked harder than us, and that's why they picked up a point. But yeah, one of those 5 teams, and I think all 5 of them are weaker than us. Does that mean we won't get relegated? No, it doesn't, because our players need to give everything. They need to have a bit of luck, and more importantly, you know, the fans need to get behind the team and Neil Harris. The Den, we're not playing any different football than we have done for the last 3 or 4 seasons. You can count on one hand how many times we've lost by more than 2 goals and how many times we've won by more than 2 goals. That means we are in nearly every single game. We are competitive. We are hard to break down. We defend normally resolutely. We've not changed the way we've played, so that's not going to happen. I don't understand the all. Just because results don't go away, we're now on Harris. He doesn't know what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. Is it going for us at the moment? No. Do I have full faith in him? Yes. And I want more than anything for the majority of fans to get behind him and the team, because the Den is a different place when we're all singing from the same place. I think we need to do that once again. And if we do that, we will stay up. Our home record, our home form would be enough to keep us up. We've got big teams at the Den left, and we've got the teams in and around us as well. We've got Rotherham at home. You know, if the fans are on our side, the players' side, we will stay up. If they're not, if I understood the uneasiness and the nervousness on Saturday, because we'd gone a long time. It's Saturday, Boxing Day. We'd gone a long time without a win, but that's not happened anymore. Now we've got the win. We've played better and lost. You know, Sometimes the performance isn't everything. Sometimes getting 3 points is. We've done that on Boxing Day. We've got a tough game against Nottingham Forest and then a massive game against Ipswich. If we are all singing the same way, we've got every single chance. Thanks for watching again. I know not many people are going to watch this because most people are not interested in me, but it gives a background of me and Millwall and a few answers to the questions. Put the comments in, like I said, if you want to answer the questions about who do you think is going to get relegated, what is your first Millwall memory, because that's the important thing. That's everyone knows I do this because I love doing it. I love talking about Millwall, and this gets it all around the world. You know, this YouTube video can be viewed in every single country. It probably won't be. It'll be viewed in about 10 people's mobile phones. But that's what it is. Do you know what I mean? This is the club. This is the club I'm passionate about, and we need to be talking about it. Thanks for taking the time to watch it. Again, if you're banging a like, I'd appreciate it. It just shows me whether it's worth doing or not. Thanks for watching the channel. Will we get a win tomorrow against Forest? I think we will. Why not? Why not? Come on, you Lions.